It sounded like the ocean waves. I like that. All right, it's always good if there's ocean waves, and if there's some noise in the room, it means that there's a lot of activity, and it's nice. It was more or less like a beehive this morning, what I saw looking around. It was, I had to get out of my group to stop some other groups, so that's always good. I knew at least of one group that I had to go inside to get them out, and this is really good time management. We're only 15 minutes late, so we're doing a good job. And by the way, your groups, you're all responsible for your own time management. So the only thing we ask is that you come back in time. But if you want to have a break together, or you want to stretch your legs, or you want to talk about a question walking around, please do. You know, we need coffee, we need bathroom breaks, but that's up to you. And if you want to spend more time together, that's, of course, also fantastic, because I think some of the groups, especially David's group, they have the perfect answers for us all, but they didn't have the time to put everything in writing yet. So, and one other thing is that lots of people are taking pictures, like Garrett is doing right now. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have something available for you after the conference. It's like a flashback that you can share with everybody. That's why the video cameras are here, and it's not going to be all of the lectures, everything together, but we're going to make a summary, somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, that includes pictures of everything that's up here. It includes fragments of the lectures. It includes the Naarden Declaration, and it's also going to include what our commitment, whatever that's going to be, is towards each other that's coming out on Monday morning, so that you have something to take back home to New Zealand, to England, to Wheaton, to wherever you're going back to, so you can tell people around you where you've been, what happened, and of course why they should get engaged as well. Right? Now let's take a look. We cannot talk about everything that's written up here, so I'm going to pick a few things out, but the board is going to stay here, then it's going to move back to the wall, so please use the breaks to read everything that's there. Because of course we're here to learn from each other, but doing everything in such a big group is not going to work. So this is our professional paparazzi. He's going to take care of, like you see, really good pictures. So as you see, we're going to have really good pictures of everything that's up here. So it's going to be fine. Let's see, let's start here. This is a very colorful one. I always like colorful. So, understanding it means love. What group is this? Excellent. Bianca, who in your group can say something about that? Perhaps you or somebody else?
Yeah, well, we kind of said that I would do the words, but the group is the force behind it.
All right.
Actually, everything that's written there is connected. So we started with the future religion. All depends on keeping the chain unbroken. Famous words from Madame Blavatsky also. And how do you do that? That is by understanding that unity, which is the source, you could say, oneness, unity, understanding that it means love. That comes from the realization of connectedness. So there is unity, it defines in connectedness, and when you understand that, then you work from love.
Excellent, thank you very much. Now, if I move to the right here, it says, Maha Chohan is a continuing inspiration. What group is this coming from? That's Henk.
Yeah.
Henk, may I just say, wow?
Well, it's all? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it is, of course, difficult to express all the thoughts that we had about it. But we spoke much about teaching and how to teach and what does it mean to teach, etc., and to keep things alive for generations after us. But there is, of course, a continuous source of wisdom, which we all, of course, whole humanity has, and that is what is called in the Mahachohan, or of course, the whole logic of compassion, which is where he is the central feature. I think this is which counts for everyone. So he is the continuing source, and not only for 100 years, but for I don't know how many cycles that will be. And well, I think it's very good to realize that, and that will give us the force to all the regrets or possible teleurstellingen, what is that? Disappointments, to overcome that and to see to the future.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's see. It should promote infinity or unity. Common denominator 2 should be, ego is crossed out, personality free. It's a bit cryptic, but also sounds very interesting. Who can tell us something about this here?
We said the common religion should promote unity and infinity. It should promote the first principles of Theosophy. Yeah, for us, or it is important. We said that we lift ourselves from personality or from selfish to unselfish condition. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ralph. Let's see here. Religion is already there. Religion is already there. What group is this coming from? Yo.
Yeah, the idea is that we should not forget that we have these religions which fall under the classification of a religion, to speak in the terms of Paren's presentation. But this is the situation, and later on in the blue part, for question 2, we have said, knowing that religions is there, we have to help to find in those different religions, to delve up the core of those religions, like Blavatsky and Olcott did when they were in Sri Lanka to help the Buddhist philosophy to revive.
All right, so start with the core of the religion itself.
Yeah,
yes.
And help people to find back their own core.
Nicely put. Thank you. So here it says something that Theosophy is the cornerstone of the future religions of humanity, cross-generational influence and diversity of expression respected. I happen to know that that's from Betty's group. Betty, could you say something about it? Could we have a microphone here?
We discussed the idea that was in the Mahachohan's letter that sons of Theosophists were more likely to become Theosophists. And in our experience, that wasn't necessarily true for... But we tried to look at it closer, and one thing we thought was that, first of all, they were looking to future generations, and that this is a long-term effort, and then that our children may not necessarily be our biological children, but the children of our influence. And then... what was the other? Can't see it. That you asked.
The diversity of expression respected.
Diversity of expression. To recognize that. Let me see. Oh, to respect the fact that there are different ways to express the same thing, and so that when we try to give words to things, to express it in ways that the people who are listening will hear us.
Thank you. And then there's very, very good news, and it's up here. Yeah, so how are we going to facilitate that future? It's free. I like that. Being Dutch, I especially like that. So who can tell me more about this? Which group is this? Ooh. Ooh. It's the empty seats we have to look at now.
Well, as a Dutchman, I just couldn't leave that out, of course. And, well, yeah, it's, of course, we have the wisdom. We receive the wisdom for free, so that's how it should be always.
It should be free.
It should be free, yeah.
Thank you. Good principle. Thank you very much. And it's free, and then we have to start with unity of thoughts among ourselves so that practical solutions will follow, inspiring each other to unity. It's a very nice phrase. Yes, Patricia.
My facilitator. Yes, yes.
Carlos,
Yes.
the co-host.
The concept there that the group came together is that if we develop our inner being to the higher standards that Theosophy gives us, actually the material benefits will just follow. It's just natural that if you act altruistically and if you act with higher values, the material benefits just will follow. If your inner being, and as an individual, as well as a group, as a society, you withhold high standards, the material things that you look for the benefits of others, like food, clothing, medicine, anything will just follow.
It's a logical consequence.
Exactly, it's a logical consequence of your developing your inner being. Absolutely.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
And this seems to all take place in the form of a triangle. April, where are you? What's happening here? It says teachings, practice, and service. So how does that work?
So our group, actually, when we looked at the question, we had about 10 questions on the question. And our journey was we kept asking questions about the nature of that question. And we came to the point of asking ourselves, responding to the quote HPB had about if we could make Theosophy a living power in our life, we could transform the world if we had 500 Theosophists. So then, being a questioning group, we said, how come that hasn't happened? And then maybe we've missed the boat. And so that what we came up with is that maybe to serve humanity, we really, as in Carlos was saying, really do have to work on our own spiritual growth and consciousness about who we are, and while we're serving. So we need this balance between studying the teachings, practicing. I should have put self-awareness and consciousness in the middle. I meant that. We had that in our notes and I forgot. Because to do the service, it's a balance of all of them. Right. And I think it isn't, I just want to add, I think it's not so easy to assume we can lose our ego. And that I think many efforts that have led to the splits in our movement have come from the tendency in all of us for our ego to operate unconsciously and operate out of power motives and other kinds of motives that have undermined the spiritual path. So I think we have to really be on guard there when we work together.
We'll be on guard. Thank you. Now, last night I was talking to John, and he said, you know, there's two versions of the of the letter, or at least two, and in one it says religion and the other it says religions. And then it also, there's also the difference in interpretation. So are we talking about Theosophy as just a cornerstone, or are we talking about Theosophy as the future religion? Now, if it would be the future religion, how would you call it? And there's one group, I think, that has solved that, because it might be called the group JC. So who is the group JC?
I'm JC.
The group JC.
You have a microphone here, please? The group JC. So, Jonathan, what could you add to what you've already heard about how we're going to get to that future?
Well, first of all, I didn't write group JC, so somebody else wrote that.
You're excused.
Just to be clear. Your question was how,
My question is, what
to unfold the future?
Well, what can you add to what you've already heard? What came out in your group that you think you would want to share here?
It seemed like a big part of our conversation was centered around the idea that it has to do with self-awareness, and which is what April was talking about. And it's really important that the future religion will make us more self-aware, and it won't be just a dead doctrine, but it'll be a living, unfolding, ever-evolving process that happens within our hearts and minds, and that that might be like a clue that the future religion is unfolding, is that this living power is becoming released. And then another important point that we were talking about is just the importance of action and engagement, which seemed like it was an important part of the letter that we were talking about. And this thing, going back to this inner awareness, inner work actually does help humanity. And it seems like in the letter, just as long as it's not selfish, that there is such thing as working on yourself on behalf of others. Let's see here.
Oh, we don't have to cover everything. That's excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much. Again, I have two mics. It feels really good. No? So I've not asked every group, but the groups I haven't asked yet. Who would like to contribute something else that came up in your group that you think is good for us to know? Yes? Renee? Just a second. Please wait for the mic. Oh, and if you could get up as well. Oh, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to mention with the unfolding of consciousness, like in the coil, depending on where each person is at, that's where the respect comes in for each journey, because everyone's at a different place during that unfolding. So the respect is so important at lodges when we're meeting people and in small groups and everything, that where everyone is at, that it's okay to be where they are at. And that's our respect that comes through there within that journey.
Thank you very much for that. Are you ready to learn some more Dutch?
For once, I'm speechless.